Again, Michael Gomes
What's up,
coming to us
guys?
from 1-2-1
Welcome back to another
Toronto.
reaction video.
Fighting Anthony
Today
Kelly
we'll
on
be
Mule
reacting
Fitness.
to my
Michael's gonna
last
try to
MMA
avenge
fight
that
this
early
past
loss
weekend
from
in
his
Schenectady, New York for Cage Wars 70.
What do you think of the glasses by Gomes?
I was part of the. I was the third fight of the night. This is my first MMA fight. Oh, well, my second, technically. My first one was technically Pancration here in Ontario, so it was technically my first amateur MMA fight.
He's ready. He's nice and composed.
Here's the entrance here. Came out to I Get Money from 50 Cent, you know. Canadian flag draped, obviously, representing Canada in Toronto.
Gomes 1-0.
Here I am. I was pretty calm going into this fight. I had a lot of trust in the game plan, and I felt very prepared. Had a really good training camp, and yeah, I was very confident going into the cage for sure. Here I am, dapping up my coaches. Shout out my gym, 1-to-1 MMA. They've been helping me a lot, and I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful for them. So, got to shout out them for sure. Here I am, just getting the Vaseline on. We didn't know too much about my opponent. My opponent was 0-0. Didn't really have a social media at all. Just we seen a couple photos of him, so we knew he probably was going to be tough. You know, he was from Schenectady, so he had a big crowd for sure. He had a lot of supporters there in his green T-shirts. You'll see it in the video here. So yeah, coming into his home territory, trying to prove a point here. Coming in, commentators really liking me so far. Got to hit the cartwheel going in, of course, like we always do. Just very calm, collective, you know.
Without knowing much about the fighters, you sometimes just go by.
You guys can hear the commentators saying they can tell I'm a real good athlete, call me a professional, you know. And that's what I strive to be, right? I strive to look like a professional and act like a professional, right? Like I want to fight at the professional level, and in order to do that, I feel like you got to look like a professional athlete. So I take that very important.
It's gonna be a good scrap.
Implementing that now as an amateur.
It absolutely is.
I like it.
I saw this young man backstage. He was nice and calm, nice and composed. I think both these guys are.
In a second.
You can definitely tell.
Yeah, he had a big crowd. He had a lot of support in his green T-shirts. Yeah, I didn't really know too much about him, as we said, but I figured he was going to be a brawler, so our game plan was obviously, with my wrestling and jiu-jitsu background, to get this fight to the ground and figure out how to finish it on the ground. With novice rules, it kind of makes it hard to finish on the ground with no headshots on the ground, so it was going to make it difficult, but we still wanted to try and do that. So here we go. We're going to start the first round. I ended up losing by a split decision, but we'll get into it and we'll see what you guys think, obviously. But so going into this first round, we're trying to set up shots to get the wrestling going. As you can see,
right hand.
Obviously wanted to come brawl. I wasn't trying to brawl,
good job racking up, throwing those punches by Kelly.
Forward, shooting that double, trying to get this fight to the ground where I'm confident right now. And obviously my striking still a work in improvement, but here we're trying to inflict some ground and pound, trying to pass the guard. Just trying to do whatever he can. He's trying to hold on to my head here. Just trying to break this guard. From here, I should look to pass that leg over there, but from here, we're just trying to hit some ground and pound on the side. I should start to maybe work some knees here as well.
And for those watching, Will mentioned it.
Here we look to kind of settle it down, hitting him with some shots there. Trying to break this guard. As you can see here, we get to the side control. From here, I start to look for this, either the Kimura grip there. I'm going to do it in a second by trying to land some knees here. They told me to watch the knees to the back there, so we try using the other leg. Those ones are okay.
Kelly's not necessarily any threat to Gomes.
Right here, I'm trying to look for the Kimura grip, or even trying to get him to turn fully for me to take his back, which he does, but
what can Kelly,
you'll see what happens there. Here, we're just trying to muscle this. He kind of has my arm trapped there with his leg, so I get that out. Look to pass to mount here. He's able to kind of flip over, and this is like positions that I need to work on. Staying, getting better position on and not being so forward, kind of getting a more balanced base. But we're able to kind of sweep him over here.
Looks like he's going to try and take the back here.
Right here, I'm trying to look to get it either. Like from here, usually I would ground and pound to the face here, so we look to turn in there because we have our back. From here, I'm trying to get him off the cage, get him the side control. Get my arm over there. From here, you're gonna see I'm gonna turn my hips to try and get a different submission.
I was gonna
I
say
was
something.
hoping he'd turn his back, but he didn't. Tries bucking over, so I transition into this.
Less than a minute to go.
Transition to the other hip here. From here, I'm looking. Usually from here, I'd ground and pound the face, but here I'm just trying to get him to let go of his arms there, so that I can set up a Kimura or an arm bar. I need to threaten more submissions in these top positions. You'll see in this fight, I get into a lot of top positions, and I just kind of like right here, I need to be looking for different submissions and trying to move around, not just trying to stay in the side control. But you know, these are things we're gonna get back in the gym and improve on, obviously.
Well, in terms of the grappling.
It was a close fight, right? So I got to look at all these positions and be like, what can I do better, right? Obviously, as you'll see at the end, as I said, I thought I won this fight, but you can't leave it up to judges, right? So I need to look at these positions and really think where I can do better. As you see here, with the final seconds left, I'm just trying to get some final shots off. Ends up trapping my legs back. End the round on top. Get right back up. From here, I'm trying to control my breathing. Making sure I'm all good. I felt pretty good condition-wise throughout the fight. As you can see here, I look pretty composed still. My corner's telling me here, you know, from here, we want to start to use our strikes to create kind of a little bit of distance so he can't come forward and brawl on me. And then from there, kind of set up the shot, which I think I do a lot better coming into the second round. I really think I had a really good second round. I think you can argue this round maybe being a 10-8, but I definitely thought it was a win round for me. Same with the first round. I think for the most part I was in dominant positions in the first round and was trying to keep the action going. So I think I also had a 10-9 in the first round. But I think I had a really good start to the second round, as you'll see here in a second. I've watched this before, so I kind of was trying to, you know, break it down as best as I can. Here we go. I'm up. I'm ready to go. Shaking my legs.
Both athletes seem to be enjoying
I'm ready to go.
Right? They both seem to be very much in the moment.
This is the fun part. All the hard stuff was
here. You'll see. I think they're just cleaning up a spill. Dan Mergliotti being the ref was really cool. Having a UFC ref every fight's really cool. So from here, not trying to touch gloves, just trying to keep that distance away. I throw that front kick. From here, I go to throw another one. Blocking these shots here, trying to get the fight more calm, as you can see. Throwing some strikes. Blocking his strikes. From here, he goes to ground my legs. So from here, I'm like, okay, let's shoot. Let's get this to the ground, right? Go for our double here. I'm aware of where my head is, being thinking to that guillotine, but I'm trying to finish this double leg.
He's got the choke. He's got one.
He tries to go for the guillotine here, but I'm aware of my head, so I know that like it wasn't really tight at all. Like I'm not in a threat place here, but I need to get this head out. So I'm working to get a head out. He has a good grip on my head, but he's not squeezing. I don't really feel a choke at all. So from here, I'm just trying to get my head up. I'm trying to keep my pressure as well, though, so that I stay on top. Here, I'm just trying to throw some ground and throwing some hooks to the body there. Trying to get this head out. While I'm trying to still pass his legs through as he has the guard, I'm able to pop the head out there. So from here, I'm going to look to break this guard again like before. But right now, I'm just using my head to pressure his head to try and get him tired out. Keeping that head pressure right up. I'm using my forehead to keep that pressure right in his face and make it very uncomfortable for him there, especially being up against the cage here. From here, I'm kind of looking for that Kimura grip, but what I should also be doing is throwing more shots to open up this Kimura, right? Like I need to be throwing a lot more here, I think. I was throwing a little bit, but I need to go a lot more there. It's hard because you can't hit the head, but
it's got to be frustrating.
I think I could have maybe broken this if I would have thrown a lot more. As you see, I'm trying to do it there, but he's holding my head there, making it hard. I should look to actually break that grip he has on my head there. From here, though, I'm just trying to keep that pressure, make it very, as you can see in his face, he's not having a good time right now. He's pretty flustered, so just trying to keep him up. Just trying to keep that pressure. Now we look to kind of pass. Now we're more looking. We broke the Kimura grip. We're now looking to just kind of pass the guard. From here, I'm trying to throw shots. Just trying to get him to open up the guard as best as I can. From here, he finally opens, which I'm able to then sweep over the side control here. From here, I go to look for the Kimura grip, but From here, I'm looking for this Kimura grip, but as you can see, he's reaching that arm over, and you're going to see he's using his legs here to trap his arm, which is going to make it very hard for me to finish this, especially with 10 seconds left. With another 20 seconds, I think maybe we could have got this finished, but yeah, so final seconds here. Doing my best as I can to try to finish this grip. He's using his legs and stuff to defend. I kind of get too forward here, and he ends up kind of flipping me over, which allows me to get this little flurry off. Didn't really feel too many shots there, but
it may have been a little too much too late. However, it does sort of give him some momentum going into the third round.
I think I won that round.
Kelly needs to come out with that fervor and that
selfishly, I think you could argue it as a 10-8, but because of like those little mistakes there, right?
He probably needs to stop it.
Could lean the judges another way, but I definitely thought that was a 10-9 me. So going into this, I'm thinking, you know, I'm probably up 2-1, but I still, you know, I want to have, my coaches are telling me, you know, just try and do the same thing I did in that second round and just try and keep that distance and then shoot. When you're ready to shoot, obviously I want to get this fight to the ground and kind of have it similar to how those first 2 rounds went. I think if I stayed on top the rest of this round, I definitely would have had the unanimous decision win. But
yeah, I mean, at this point, there's not
made a lot of mistakes in this third round, honestly. I think it was a decent round. I think you could argue maybe it being a draw this third round, but I definitely would give him the upper edge on the round, especially towards the end of the third round, as you guys are going to see. But I need to come out better in this third round, right? Obviously, this is my first amateur MMA fight, and it'll get better throughout cage time, you know, so getting some more fights under me, getting more comfortable in the cage is obviously going to help. I think this fight definitely helped towards that, and I think I'm going to come out even better in my next fight.
Gomes goes for the touchdown.
So from here, it kind of gets me with that little Superman punch here. I kind of come in selfishly with the strike. So from here, I'm like, all right, let's close the distance. Shoot for the single leg. From here, I'm looking to drive and get him towards the cage, which I end up doing. He ends up sitting on his butt. So from here, I'm looking to grab his hips and pull him off the cage, but I wish I would have done was also move my legs. I felt like he didn't really have my legs trapped, and I felt like if I would have just kind of moved to the other side, I could have maybe got the side control instead of being stuck in his guard here, as he's able to close the guard here. But from here, I'm working to grab his waist to try and get him off the cage and not have him so. And from here, he's trying to work up.
His corner is telling him the same thing, and you see right there.
From here, I don't really know what kind of happened here, but so I'm here. I'm in half guard, kind of staying on top, trying to keep that pressure as I was in the second round, trying to use my head. He's able to kind of buck off here.
There it is, though.
Here we go. Back into stand from here.
He's going to have a chance,
kind of tripping on myself,
but
I end up grabbing his ankle here, which ends up costing me. Because he ends up getting on my back and grabbing that ankle. I wish I would have taken a little more time there to just set up a better shot and like kind of keep it on the feet a little more. But it's just, you know, like in the moment, that's just what the reaction was, and end up in a bad position here. From here, I'm not really feeling a choke at all. You know, I get in these positions a lot in training, so I'm very used to defending from here. So I'd like to think I'm really good at defending here. As you can see, I'm doing a really good job at keeping his arms away from me. From here, I know he can't punch me in the head, so I'm trying to actually, as you can see, his legs are crossed. So I'm trying to get that left leg over to just try and break those legs off. That's the only worry that I kind of have. I know he doesn't really have a choke on me, but I need to get those legs broken off. I try my best to do it here by trapping his leg. From here, there's under a minute left, so I'm kind of looking to just kind of try my best to get back up and get on top to finish the round on top.
The heart for both of the fighters here in round 3. 35 seconds left.
I think if I could have turned here, I try and muscle it, but from here I'm pretty tired, to be honest.
I don't think he's going to get the choke.
Well, Gomes is trapping the leg.
Yeah, just need that. These are just things we need to work on, right? We need to just get back in the gym and drill these positions out, and just, you know, the more drilling I do, the more I'll get better in these positions, and it'll translate into the cage. And I'm really excited for my next fight.
Again, anything's possible with judges, though.
But I can't wait to see the improvements I make over the summer going into my next fight for sure.
You have to, 100% to Kelly. I just don't know if it's enough.
Honestly, like you're going to hear the commentator say, I thought I won 2-1. I thought I won the first 2 rounds. Obviously, I got my hands up there, just trying to stay. I felt pretty good here. I felt like I was able to get my breath back, and I felt really good. And I was like, okay.
At
the time, I thought I did enough. I thought I won 2-1, as you hear the commentator say, but, you know, fighting in this guy's hometown, right? Obviously, he's the hometown kid with the New York judges. You can't let it get to the judges, and that's probably the biggest lesson I learned from this fight is when I get into those dominant positions on the ground, I need to look for more ways to finish, and I need to find more ways to lay ground and pound or try and get the submission to finish the fight, right? I can't let it get to the judges because it can lead to decisions like this, right? And obviously it sucks, but it's a lesson that I'm going to learn from for sure. For my next fight, I'm hoping to fight in September, maybe even a short notice in July or August, but I'm honestly just looking. I got a bunch of jiu-jitsu tournaments coming up that I want to do, so get ready for those and just keep on improving, right? I want to improve on my striking for sure. My next fight, I want to definitely show off some more striking, but yeah. It's only going to get better from here, right? As long as I keep doing what I do, keep doing what I'm doing. Had a really good camp last camp, and just looking to keep improving off that and just do better, right? So that's all I can do. But
all right, there we go.
As you can see, I had a lot of support from the crowd, a lot of green T-shirts. I got the Canadian flag draped. Maybe that might have made an impact on the decision, but who knows? But as you can see, they're about to call out the scorecards. I think the one judge had it. It was all 29-28. First judge had it for him. Second judge had it for me. And the third judge had it for him on the split decision. So a lesson we'll learn by for sure. Don't let it get to the judges. And I can't wait to just get back in the gym and keep improving on my striking and just all around. I just want to be an all-around better MMA fighter. I want to be an all-around MMA fighter, be able to do whatever I want on the feet and the ground. But I appreciate you guys watching this, and stay tuned.